the idea for me, number one, to run for Senate was solely, we went back and forth, running for an MCA, running for an MP. Why I settled on being running for Senate was just because of this.
Because you've gone independent, and then which is I guess from my perspective, looking at it from the outside, I think is already an uphill battle. And then you're coming from the diaspora, and you've been living here, like you say, 24 years. That to me, I think, is as we have learned as diasporans, every time you go home, you're a, what is it called, you're a third. What are we called? Third-class citizen or something like that.
You're a foreigner, essentially.
Yeah, we are basically foreigners because it's like hauna msimamo hapa, hauna msimamo
hauna mizizi,
na as long as pesa natoka mfukoni, that's as good as we want it to be. But they forget that si ndio tulikuwa on the ground tukienda shule harakati hiyo. So do you think that you're giving yourself like an extremely hard, I guess it's more of a really, really hard uphill task, especially because you're actually going for Senate, as opposed to maybe kusema, okay, let me start climbing the hill, maybe even I penya either with MCA or maybe MP. You don't think that Senate is a little bit nini, or based upon what you're seeing, do you think that this is an uphill battle? Because from my perspective, I think it's an uphill battle. Just looking on, since you're actually coming in from the diaspora and you're saying, okay, I'm putting my things in a container and I'm moving home. And, oh, by the way, elect me.
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. So basically, but let me I'll answer you in 2 or 3 ways. So one of them is this. The idea for me, number one, to run for Senate was solely, we went back and forth, running for an MCA, running for an MP. Why I settled on being running for Senate was just because of this. The experience that I've gotten actually being the president of OneMic Show here, many people don't understand that. That has been a very valuable experience. So basically, I was leading basically, a group of, Kenyans who mostly come from Kisii, from every area of Kisii, So through that process, through that interaction, I learned quite a lot in terms of really how to work with that. And mind you, also, as part of being the president of OneMic Show and that process, we also connected with people back home. So, of course, I've been here more than 24 years, but it hasn't been that I haven't been home. I've been going home at least twice a year, So basically for me, that connection, that back and forth has really made me, see things a little bit differently. Now, coming to the other question about, people back home, see us as I say foreigners, and whatnot. And that's very true. That's very true. Number one, I'll also add that they also see most of us as being elitist. As a matter of fact, I had to dress down one of the MCAs in Kisii who at a meeting was saying that, Chui, why are you living in the US, as you're an American, and you're coming to fight for us, fight for the little resources that we have here. So I simply asked him, number one, why you're standing is where I was born. I was born and raised in Kisii. I did everything in Kisii. The only thing I went to do in America was to go to school. So is that wrong? Of course not. So basically, I have done my part. My mission of going to the US is done. So if I'm coming back, why should I be a foreigner? So, but again, there's folks who believe in that. So, but then to get beyond that, you have to just basically tell them that, what, I went abroad to get a new experience, to study and come back, So basically you're telling me that somebody in Nairobi, somebody in Narok, or somebody who has lived in Nakuru who has not gone to Kisii, they're also foreigners because they don't understand exactly what goes on even in Kisii, As a matter of fact, now, because of technology, okay, we in the diaspora actually basically know more about what happens in Kenya than the folks who actually live in Kenya. That's a fact.
That's a risky statement you're making, Chui.
Yes, it's very clear. Actually, I get more information, real-time information, up to date, even before someone actually in Kenya knows that. So folks in Kenya don't understand that. But again, this attack on the diaspora candidate is also political. Because if you look at it, if they can paint us as being different than what we are, then it creates doubts among the voters. And then now this idea of being elitist, this idea of being like, this guy is out of touch, he's detached from everything else, becomes even more obvious. But again, it's up to us as the diaspora candidates to help dispel that myth, and which basically, for me, sometimes tend to be very blunt. I've been very clear on that. If anybody makes a mistake of asking me why, if I'm American and I'm running in Kenya, I quickly dismiss that very bluntly. So I think there's still that challenge, but I think it's also up to us as candidates to help dispel that kind of notion as well. And then the last thing I want to say is that the world has become very, 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 very small and just one because of technology. The reason why you're seeing many folks running in Kenya, because running for many seats in Kenya, governor and MCS from diaspora, it's just that, they're actually basically home, but they're not home. Even though they say politics is local, which is true, I think the technology has helped dispel that myth, and I think it's now up to us to change that thinking. Basically have a paradigm shift for the folks back home to think otherwise. I know that running for that seat is challenging, but again, I'm somebody who really never gets anything easy. So for me, everything I do has been an epic battle. So this is one of them that I think I'm hoping to also overcome very quickly.